So we're talking about the NFC West. And this might be the most proven division in the NFC, period. Super Bowl appearances, elite coaching, and some of the most productive offenses in football. But this division is also loaded with system quarterbacks and elite play callers. So when we project these quarterbacks going into the next season, the real question becomes, are we projecting the quarterbacks or the coaching that's driving the success? Tonight, we rank the NFC West quarterbacks and find out which coach-quarterback duo projects the best. So let's get into it. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Before we jump in, quick shout out to everybody that's participating in the Football is Money giveaway. Stick around for the question in this show that can earn you more entries. All right. But remember, you have to be subscribed to this channel, signed up at footballismoney.com. All right. You have to do those things in order to participate and have a chance at winning this monies. All right. And make sure you check in the community page too, because it's updated daily. So stay locked in. All right. Football is money, baby. Before we start ranking these quarterbacks, we have to look at the landscape of the NFC West, because last season, the NFC West was probably the best division in football. 3 teams won at least 12 games, and the Seattle Seahawks went on to win the Super Bowl. That tells you how competitive this division really is. And somehow, this division might actually be getting tougher. Free agency has already started reshaping some of these rosters, and several teams are heading into the season with very different situations. So let's start with Arizona. With Kyler Murray now gone to Minnesota and Jacoby Brissett possibly stepping into QB1 territory, the Cardinals have essentially hit the reset button. But honestly, let's talk about this Kyler thing for a second, because we did the NFC North a couple of weeks ago before this news dropped, right? And I don't think Kyler Murray being in Minnesota would change his projection. He would still be at number 4, but I do think it could be a better fit for him right now, you know, because honestly, Arizona might actually be in a better place moving forward as well, because their relationship between Kyler Murray and the organization have been broken for a long time, ever since the quarterback contract dispute that they went through. I believe Brissett played solid football for them last year, and now they bringing in Gardner Minshew. It's supposed to be a quarterback competition, but I think Minshew will be backing him up. And with that, you know, situation they have over there, I believe the team look more stable. But the question is whether stability is enough in this division, as tough as it is. Because even if Arizona improves, the NFC West doesn't leave much room for growth, right? Then you look at San Francisco, and Mike Evans could be a major development for Brock Purdy. If Evans stays healthy, he gives that offense a legitimate number 1 receiver and raises the ceiling of the passing game. But health has been the story with the 49ers. The talent is there. The question is whether the roster can actually stay on the field. And we got Seattle, the defending Super Bowl champions. They did lose their MVP, Kenneth Walker, to Kansas City Chiefs, which is a major loss and a major upgrade for the Chiefs. But Seattle still has depth at running back, and Sam Darnold has been playing good football in that system. I don't necessarily see them repeating, but I also don't see a major drop-off either. That team is still built to compete from top to bottom. And then, last but not least, we have Los Angeles Rams. Coming into last season, there was real questions about whether Matthew Stafford would even play a full season. I thought Jimmy G would end up with, you know, significant playing time. But not only did Stafford play, he went out and won the MVP, which shows the clear difference between projection and perception in this league that we love, right? And this division isn't just talented, it's coached at the highest level. So when you look across the NFC West, you have elite coaching, proven offensive systems, and teams that consistently produce fantasy output and betting value. Which quarterback in this division actually projects the strongest going forward? Now, before we start projecting anything, we need to look at what actually happened last year, because production tells us what these quarterbacks was able to do inside their system. And in the NFC West, the numbers was quite serious. You got Matthew Stafford. He led the division, 4,700 passing yards, 46 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 109 passer rating. That was one of the most efficient seasons in football. Then you look at Seattle. Sam Darnold threw for over 4,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, while leading the Seahawks to a Super Bowl. That system in Seattle clearly worked. Arizona got, solid production from Jacoby Brissett, 3,300 yards, 23 touchdowns with only 8 picks. Efficient football. But the real question is whether that efficiency translates to wins in a division this tough. And then there's San Francisco. Brock Purdy only played 9 games, but still threw 20 touchdowns with 100 passer rating, which tells you exactly how powerful that offense can be when everything is fully functioning. So when you step back and you look at the NFC West, this might actually be the most productive quarterback division in the conference. Stafford, he dominated the numbers. Darnold finished the job and got the ring. Jacoby Brissett, he showed efficiency, and Brock Purdy still produced even with limited games. But production alone doesn't tell the whole story, because in the West side, some say it's the best side, especially when you realize that coaching systems play a massive role. So when we start projecting these quarterbacks going into next season, are we projecting the quarterback or the coach running the system behind him? And that's where the coaching conversation becomes important. Now, this is the time where the NFC West becomes a different conversation, because this might be the most coach-driven quarterback division in football, starting with Sean McVay in Los Angeles. His offensive consistency creates explosive plays, and when Matthew Stafford is healthy inside that system, the production can reach MVP levels like we just seen last year, right? Then there's Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco. His system is built on motion, misdirection, play action, and one of the most quarterback-friendly offenses in the league. In Seattle, Mike McDonald's structure helped Sam Darnold throw for over 4,000 yards while leading the Seahawks to a Super Bowl. Now let that sink in for a second. And then there's Arizona, where the system itself is still being rebuilt. So when you look at the NFC West, you're not just projecting quarterbacks, man. You're projecting the coach-quarterback partnership. And that's what makes these rankings interesting. Because when you're looking at the NFC West, you're not just evaluating quarterbacks. You're evaluating systems. McVay in Los Angeles, Shanahan in San Francisco, McDonald in Seattle, and a new direction taking shape in Arizona, which means projecting this division isn't just about talent. It's about which coach-quarterback pairing is set to succeed. So with that in mind, how do you see the NFC West quarterback stacking up going into next season? Okay. Here's what makes the NFC West fascinating to me. When you look at this division, it's different from the other divisions that we've covered. Every team in the NFC West believes they can win right now. Seattle, they just won a Super Bowl. The Rams just had an MVP season from Matthew Stafford. San Francisco just added another major weapon for Brock Purdy. And Arizona might actually be more stable than people realize, even though they haven't named a head coach just yet. So when you rank these quarterbacks, you're not just ranking talent. You're ranking 4 completely different team situations. Because in this division, the NFC West, the real question isn't just who has the best quarterback. It's which quarterback situation is actually driving the success. and which one is being lifted by the system around him. And that's what makes this division one of the hardest projections in the conference. But we got to do it anyway, man. All right. So when you take everything into account, production, coaching, and the overall team situation, this is how I see the NFC West quarterbacks projecting going into next season. Number 4, Jacoby Brissett. Now, this isn't necessarily about Brissett's ability. Arizona is simply in the most uncertain situation in the division right now. New direction, new leadership, and a team still trying to find its identity. Jacoby Brissett played efficient football last year, but in a division this competitive, the situation around him makes projection difficult. Number 3, Sam Darnold. Darnold just led the Seahawks to a Super Bowl, which says a lot about the system that they are running. But when you compare the overall quarterback ceilings in this division, he lands right in the middle. Still productive, still in a strong system, but not quite at the level of the top 2. Number 2, Matthew Stafford. Stafford just had an MVP season and led the most explosive offense in the division. The only reason he don't land in number 1 is projection moving forward. Age and durability becomes part of the conversation. But when Stafford is healthy in Sean McVay's offense, the production can still be elite, like we just seen in a previous year. Number 1, we got Brock Purdy. Purdy lands at the top because of the overall situation around him. Kyle Shanahan's offense continues to produce at a high level, and now they've added another weapons with Mike Evans. When you combine the system, the supporting cast, and the efficiency Purdy has shown, their quarterback situation projects the strongest right now in the NFC West. And that's how the NFC West quarterbacks stack up heading into the next season. Quick giveaway reminder before we move on. If you participate in the Football is Money giveaway this month, here's a bonus opportunity for this episode. Drop your answer in the comment. Who is your number 1 quarterback in the NFC West right now and why? That's it. Remember, you got to be subscribed to this channel. You have to be signed up at footballismoney.com. All right. So do that just to be a part of the giveaway. Take this opportunity to get a bonus entry. Make sure you're checking the community page too, because the wheel gets updated daily. All right. So when you zoom out and you look at the NFC West as a whole, this is one of the highest producing divisions in football. You got high fantasy volume. You got elite offensive output. You got a Super Bowl MVP in this division. You got an MVP season and multiple quarterbacks putting up high yardage and touchdown numbers, right? And that's just from the quarterback position alone. So when it comes to fantasy, when it comes to betting, and when it comes to just overall production, the NFC West is a powerhouse right now. You know, it's a lot happening in this division right now, and that's why the projection matters. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Drop your takes down below. I'm your host, they call me Boss. This is Football is Money, and we out.
That's a wrap. Thanks for listening to Football is Money. Find every episode and more at footballismoney.com.